I'm going to ask Reverend Kathleen Moore from First Christian Church to also give us a reflection and a blessing before our meal.
Thank you so much. I'm going to move back here just for a minute. I'm being asked to speak now largely because I have to leave pretty soon. I have a 13-year-old member of my congregation who is at the hospital struggling to survive childhood leukemia and the complications from that, so I need to go and be with the family. So thank you. I can smell the food, and you all are hungry, and we're all hungry, so I'll do this as best as I can. But I have prepared some remarks about the partnership between First Christian Church, which is just down the street, about a very short distance, and the mosque. But let me say, blessings of peace and goodwill to you all. It is so comforting to be among this group of people and to be here at Dar Al-Hijrah to celebrate what it means to be neighbors and partners in faith and service. I truly believe that in order to bless and heal our world in the way that God prefers, we must love our neighbors as profoundly and actively as we love our God. Now, I'm speaking as a person of faith. And what that means is why we've all gathered. I'm honored to be considered a partner with you here at Dar Al-Hijrah, hopefully with all of you gathered here, and I'm equally grateful to serve beside you, and even more thrilled the fact that Dar Al-Hijrah has made such a significant commitment to the outreach of this community and Fairfax County by hiring two wonderful people whom I've come to know, especially Fazia, and it's just an incredible sign and symbol of where we're going and what we can do together. I want to briefly say that the story of First Christian and Dar Al-Hijrah started many 30 years ago when this beautiful mosque was hoping to be built. We were approached by the leaders at Dar Al-Hijrah with a need as a neighbor for some parking space because there wasn't enough parking space here. And so we said yes, really without much hesitation, to your need for parking, the need for parking, in order for county regulations to be met for this building to be built. Little did we know at that time how important that yes was going to become to our neighborhood, our individual communities of faith, the larger community, and more essentially, as the pastor for the past 13 years at senior minister at First Christian Church, to our own growth in faith as a Christian community. And so, I don't want to speak too long, and I obviously as a preacher have a lot to say. I do want to say, I want to share a little story. It's not such a little story, but I want to share a story about what I've learned about Dar Al-Hijrah worshipers and prayers and together. So we at First Christian have a very challenging parking lot, okay, to say the least. We needed, in order for Dar Al-Hijrah to be able to be built and all this to happen, we needed to fit a certain number of spaces in. And so we had to put a lot of spaces in, not enough area. So what happens is it's really easy to park badly in our church parking lot. It's really easy to park outside of the lines to make it impossible to move comfortably within our parking lot. So people are constantly being blocked in. I want to say that this Islamic community parks more carefully and more respectfully than any other group that uses our lot, including our own church members. Our lot is completely full on Fridays, during Friday prayer and during Ramadan. I want to thank the members of Dar Al-Hijrah because often you get out of your cars to make sure you're within the line so the maximum number of people can park safely. And I got to tell you, one time I moved my own car over to the grassy area to try to convince people that they could park over in the grassy area, and it wasn't about 30 seconds when someone came up to me who didn't know who I was and asked me very politely to move my car because parking on the grass was disrespectful to First Christian Church. So over the years, we have developed just kind of this really symbiotic, wonderful relationship. I don't believe true partnerships are a given at all. The task to become true partners, to understand each other, takes a willingness to risk trust and faith in the unseen, to engage in truth-telling and authenticity as you share among communities. So powerful partnerships formed in the soil of truth and authentic respect are lived kind of in the promise of a future that you can't always see, but in a promise of God that we always can see and rely on. So we believe that our partnership, First Christian and Dar Al-Hijrah, is sealed in somewhat of a holy covenant, which means this: when protesters mount a campaign against the religion of Islam, we, your covenantal partners, come out fighting, just as you would do for us. Our covenantal relationship means that even when developers beg for the use of our property, and if you go down and see where First Christian is, you'll see how beautiful, what kind of property we have. Our covenant with you here is greater than any financial incentive put before us. Yes, those 60 parking spaces restrict what we can do with our land, and that means something to us. Our partnership has grown over time, over these years and years, and especially as our relationships, and especially in moments of crisis, it has deepened and grown, and it's broadened. And I just want to say that a simple parking lot, a simple need, when you see on Fridays all the people going back and forth between church and mosque, there is a much larger symbolism happening. And it is a transformation of this community. It speaks on its own. And so I am grateful for this opportunity. I'll be quiet now. I am grateful for this opportunity to be able to be here and mostly to be in partnership with a vision and a common purpose that is so universal for us people of faith. Especially to see the rabbi here and all of us here, it's just so meaningful. So, God bless you all. Peace, goodwill. Amen.
All right.